Well, good morning. I'm Richard Bunch, and I'm the Senior Minister at Unity of Richmond, and I just personally want to welcome you to this service this morning. Our goal and our desire is that when this service is over, you will feel spiritually lifted up, that you will know that you are a spiritual being having a spiritual experience in the human condition. We believe in love, we believe in peace, and we believe in joy. And so thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Welcome everybody who's here in the room with us, and welcome to everybody who's visiting us online, especially my daughter Emily and my friend Elizabeth. Happy to know you're out there. Today's daily word is light. The light of God surrounds me. When darkness casts shadows in my life or in the life of someone I care about, I call upon the divine light that lives within me and expresses as me. Just as the light of the sun illuminates the sky, the light of God illuminates my mind, brightens my soul, and warms my heart. Even during life's darkest moments, the light of God is always shining within me, just as it shines within all people. Basking in this light, I find the strength and power to lift myself up. Through acts of service and loving kindness, I can be the light that helps guide others through any darkness they may be facing. Every smile, kind word, thoughtful deed, or offer of help has the potential to brighten someone's day. And the spiritual quote today is from Psalms 112, verse 4. They rise in the darkness as a light for the upright. They are gracious, merciful, and righteous. So repeat after me 3 times. The light of God surrounds me. The light of God surrounds me. The light of God surrounds me. The light of God surrounds me.
It's so unusual, it's frightening. You see right through the mess inside me. Then you call me out to pull me in. You tell me I can start again, and I don't need to keep on hiding. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. It's so like you to keep pursuing. It's so like me to go astray. Ooh, but you guard my heart with your truth, the kind of love that's bulletproof. And I surrender to your kindness. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. It's so unusual, it's frightening. I'm fully known and loved by you. Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina. Thank you, band, the best band in the world, Jake, Ian, and Ryan. We're so lucky to have them. Okay, join me in centering your heart, quieting your mind, and diving deep down into your heart and feeling that love of God and feeling the joy of what it's like to be fully known by God. Let us feel the peace and the love in our hearts. Let it rise up. Let it rise up and surround in loving light all of this chaotic energy that's happening here in these times right now. Let us bless that stirring of energies, and let us bless that tumult and chaos, and know that good is rising forth from it. There's transformation. Change is happening through making of good trouble. We see ultimately love and light prevailing, that people come to know we are all one. We are blessed children of God, here to love each other, create, support, and spread more love, light, and peace. And for this we say, thank you, God. Amen. Join me in saying the Metropolitan Prayer for Richmond. We're joining Richmond Hill, another facility whose purpose is to bring peace to Richmond. And they pray this prayer, and we join them in it. We pray for the workplaces and businesses of metropolitan Richmond, for full employment opportunities for our young people and heads of families, for the long-term unemployed, and for the underemployed. Now we move on to announcement. Oh, welcome. I welcome everybody again. I welcomed you before, but some of you were surely late. I welcome you again. So thank you for being here. And opportunities. We have so many wonderful opportunities here at Unity of Richmond. This is such a great place to be and share in community. So the first opportunity is that in lieu of having to provide on-site hosting and hospitality, we are providing the women's shelter with meal tickets through Kroger gift cards, which will purchase meals and personal needs. Please contact the church office if you'd like to donate, and the number is 804-278-6489. Cool thing about that phone number, it's 804-27-UNITY. Unity of Richmond, we will have a meditation live stream on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. And you can get to that through our Facebook page this Wednesday at 6:30. Beautiful meditation. And then CVS flu shot clinic is happening, and we thank David for helping make that happen. Beautiful. So David just let us know that on September 6th, CVS Flu Shot Clinic will be here to offer flu shots, and the cost is $15, and it's free if you have qualifying insurance. And there's also scholarships available upon request. So to sign up, just email register@unityrichmond.org. So that's a way to sign up in advance for that. Get your flu shot. And the next announcement is about finding yourself in transition, how to manage change in the midst of chaos. I think we can all use a little help in that department these days. I mean, it is chaotic, but it's beautiful. It's going to be just fantastic, this change that's happening. We're growing. And it's offered by Reverend Richard Bunch. Classes are held in person or online, whichever is your convenience and comfort. And it starts on September 15th, and it goes for 4 Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Managing the ending, the chaos, and the beginning, sharing concerns, the chaos and opportunities, and a new perspective. You are in charge. So the class is $30, the book is $10, and you register by emailing that same easy-to-remember email address, register@unityrichmond.org. So that's the end of our announcements for now. Thank you. Richard?
Guess what? We're going to say welcome again, okay? I don't know, this is a little out of order, but I'm going to welcome you anyway. It's really good to be back. I was in the mountains for a few days, and that was really pleasant, and just had a great time. But I just felt the need to be back here, so I came back a week earlier, okay? Or a Sunday earlier, let me put it that way. And I appreciate each of you for being here. I appreciate Reverend Sylvia Sumter for allowing us to use one of her sermons or messages, and for Tim Lytle, Reverend Tim Lytle, for allowing us to use one of his. I did get permission beforehand. And I picked those out specifically because I just thought they were particularly good messages, and I thought they were meaningful, and that hopefully you got a glimmer, you got an idea, you got a thought from it that might just change your life a little bit or maybe a whole lot. I also would like to welcome those who are online streaming with us, and I want to thank you for being here. One of the things I want to do in the welcoming is just share with you, those especially who are online who may be visiting for the first time or maybe been on a couple times and just like to know a little bit more, our desire. Our desire is to design powerful Sunday services where people can experience love. And I think we do experience love here. Engage people in an authentic and caring community. You are that. Serve others with meaningful and productive service. And we do that. Imagine creating a world that works for all. And we work on that. Reach people and families and recover broken lives. Many of us who came in here, many folks who come here, find themselves recovering from a broken life. And then enlighten and support spiritual growth in each person. And that is what we strive to do, day in and day out. Not just on Sundays, but during our classes, during our opportunities to be together, during social events when we used to have them, and during time together. So thank you so much. So I welcome you again today, and thank you for being here, and would like to share with you our, suppose, Unity's first principle. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, and that's God the good. So let's say that together very gently. There is one presence and one power in the universe, and in my life, God the good. The second thing we want to share is our vision. We share the good news that God is unconditional love, expressing as a Christ consciousness in each person. So we share the good news that God is unconditional love, expressing as a Christ consciousness in each person. And then we know that that was our mission. Now this is our vision, that we are transformed lives. Our lives are literally transformed as we grow, as we come to understand the truth of who we are, as we come to understand the power that lies within us. And as we do that, as we transform our lives, transform the way we see the world, transform the way we show up, what happens is we do transform the world, one person at a time. So thank you for being here. And now I would like to ask Jake Millhouse to come up here, please. Yeah, you're the only Jake Millhouse in the house. Come on up here. I want you to stand right about right there, okay? That's close enough, okay? Thank you. All right, good. And what I want to do is present a couple of things to you. Number one, I want to present this plaque to you. Those who don't know, Jake will be leaving us real soon, and she's going to go back and further her education. She promised me it wasn't me or any board member that created the issue, that it wasn't an issue. She just made a decision that God led her to do, okay? And so if I can, yes. What? I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I apologize. Thank you, Katrina. That's 13 years, okay, of history, and I will make that change. Correct me anytime I do that. Thank you. So Jake, okay? So Jake Millhouse, thank you for sharing your talent, your music, and your love as Unity of Richmond's music director. We love you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine in you. This is from the board of directors, myself, from every member in this church, literally. And we just want you to have this plaque to remember the time. Now, how long have you been with us, Jake? Altogether? 12 years altogether, and then 4 or 5 years as music director. 6 years as music director. Yes. Okay, thank you. We got that straight. I couldn't quite get it straight, but I knew you'd been with us for 10 or 12 years, a long time. And I hope you'll come back and still be with us, okay? We appreciate you, like I said. Here's the plaque. And then we also have a card here that the folks who came in this morning signed with a little gift inside, okay? And I would just like to ask anybody who would like to celebrate Jake's retirement from Unity of Richmond and going back to school, if you'd like to make a donation to her, you can send it to the church, put it in her name, and we will make sure that she gets the check. Or if you want to do it, pardon? Him, okay? I've been on vacation. But anyway, there is no excuse for him. And send it to, make the check out to Jake, or you can send a credit card in, and you can make it note that you want this to go to Jake, and we'll make sure that he gets that. I know you. I just love you too, and you know that. Got a mic behind you here that you can here? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. This is very unexpected. I'm not used to being up here without an instrument, so I'm just very emotional. So, thank you.
Thank you. I bless you. I would hug you, but you know the rules. That's right. The hug is in our hearts. Thank you. And now, Katrina, she will now sing Thank You.
And that's what it's about, Unity Family, isn't it? You know, we stop and we correct ourselves, and that's how we move forward. That's how we make this change in love, right? So my name is Katrina Carol Lewis. My pronouns are she, her. And let's sing. I've walked among the shadows, you've wiped my tears away, and I felt the pain of heartbreak, and I've seen the brighter days, and I've prayed prayers to heaven from my lowest place, and I have held your blessings, God, you give and take away, and no matter what I have, your grace is enough. And no matter where I am, I'm standing in your love. On the mountains I will bow my life to the one who set me there. In the valley I will lift my eyes to the one who sees me there. When I'm standing on the mountain, I didn't get there on my own. When I'm walking through the valley, I know I am not alone. You're God of the hills and valleys, the hills and valleys, God of the hills and valleys, and I am not alone. I've watched my dreams get broken, in you I hope again. No matter what, I know I'm safe inside your hands. On the mountain I will bow my life to the one who set me there. In the valley I will lift my eyes to the one who sees me there. When I'm standing on the mountain, I didn't get there on my own. When I'm walking through the valley, I know I am not alone. You're God of the hills and valleys, the hills and valleys, God of the hills and valleys, and I am not alone. You give and take away every joy and every pain. Through it all you will remain. Over it all, you give and take away every joy and every pain. over it all. On the mountains I will bow my life, yeah. In the valley I will lift my eyes. Oh, oh, on the mountains I will bow my life to the one who set me there. In the valley I will lift my eyes to the one who sees me there. When I'm standing on the mountain, I didn't get there on my own. When I'm walking through the valley, I know I am not alone. No, I'm not alone. Alone. And I know that I am not alone. You're God of the hills and valleys, the hills and valleys, God of the hills. And I am not alone. You're God of the hills and God of the valleys. You're God of the hills and valleys, and I am not alone. Thank you.
Well, good morning again. Katrina, thank you so much. This morning, I want to share a message you've probably heard many times in different ways at Unity, but I find it's always important to remind ourselves of what our lives are like. And so this morning, I'll be talking about moving from baggage into freedom. And how do we do that? It comes from Emily Cady's work, Lessons in Truth. And during the next few weeks, I really want us to go back to principle as we live in the conditions that we live in today. That it's principle that will carry us through it. It's principle that guide us through it. It's principle that will make the difference so that we can overcome any form of hurt, any form of pain, so that we can be free and be open with ourselves and with the world. I don't know about you, but one of the things I know is that I've had baggage in my life. And sometimes I carried it for a long time. And sometimes I still have to wake up and maybe a dream will remind me of that baggage. And what it tells me is I've still got it a little bit, and I got to let go even more and do more work and be attentive to that. And so what I want to do this morning again is just talk about this concept of baggage, kind of what Jesus said about it. You know, Jesus said to pick up your cross and follow me. Pick up your cross and follow me. Some people interpret that literally, that he was talking about the cross that they used to crucify people in that day and time. What Jesus was saying is pick up whatever is your issue, whatever is your problem, whatever is your baggage, and follow me. And if you will follow me and listen to me, I will show you a way out. I will teach you how to overcome the burdens that now exist for you. Now, he didn't say, I will change the world just for you. He didn't say you'll start eating tomorrow if you're poor. He didn't say, you're going to have everything you ever wanted in your life. What he said was, I will help you understand how you can overcome the burden that is still present and there. And that's an important thing to understand. The cross were the bondage. The cross were the things that hold us back. The cross was an example of how we can move through the cross and move from our relative lives into a life of abundance, into a life of affluence in our spiritual way of thinking. And so we have this opportunity to pick up our bondage, pick up our baggage, and to move forward with it. Baggage such as addiction. I know some of you have struggled with that. Those online have struggled with that. And I know that you've done something about it. I know some people in this ministry have been in recovery for as much as 30 years or more. I know people in this ministry who have had relapses but still come back because they know what it feels like to not let addiction be a bondage for them. I have witnessed folks in this ministry go through loss of children, go through the loss of loved ones, go through issues in their lives which are painful and hurtful, and yet they are able, when they really settle in and when they trust God, when they trust themselves, to overcome that bondage. Does it just go away? No. But what happens is we learn to deal with it. We learn to settle into it, not necessarily accept it, but to see it as a way in which we can move forward. And then Jesus said, one does not put new wine in old wineskins. Because what they knew in that day and time, and we know today, is that if you put new wine in an old wineskin, that new wine will burst the wineskin. It can't hold it. What that's saying is that if you're living in a culture that you are enjoying, let's just say, you're comfortable in, but yet it creates a different way of seeing things. It creates a limitation in your ability to be one with who you are, that what we have an opportunity to do is to change that culture. But if we make a change, I'm going to love somebody more than I ever have before. I'm going to start loving them and act that way. And we don't change our culture. And what that means is we're going to still stay with people who aren't as loving. We're still going to be not too concerned about being loving. We don't pay attention to it. But we just say it because in the moment, that's what we want. But if we don't change the culture within ourselves and the culture around us, then what happens is we stay the same. That's on an individual basis, not just on a societal basis, but it's true to society also. And so what Jesus was saying is take new ideas and new thoughts and use them in a different way and change the culture that you've been living in so that you can step forward stronger, so that you can step forward from your heart, so that you can change your life and change the way you're thinking about your life. We all create a screen of life, as you've heard me say before. And what we want to do is have a screen of life that's consistent with the knowledge that we are spiritual beings, that we are one with that which we call God. And then, remember Moses, the children of Israel, they were up against the Red Sea. It was the first time since they had left Egypt that they were really thought they were in danger, that they really thought that Pharaoh and his troops were going to come forth and would absolutely destroy them. Their backs were to the Red Sea. Moses spoke to the people that day. And he says, do not be afraid. Stand firm and see the deliverance the Lord has for you today. When we understand the necessity to stand firm, to trust God, to trust the Christ within, to trust our divine nature, what happens is the universe brings to us and we attract to ourselves the solution to the issue. The story in the Bible is that the Red Sea opened and the children were able to get away. And that's an example of how the Lord will deliver us, meaning the Christ within will deliver us. Because we are created to think creatively. We are created to feel creatively. We are created to imagine that which will bring forth our best good and highest good, and to step into that imagination and have it demonstrated in our lives. We're created to do that. We don't have to figure it out. It's just there for us. What we have to figure out is how to let go of any baggage that gets in the way so that we cannot step forward, but we stay exactly where we are because we feel trapped in that moment, in that situation, in that past event. And until we're really willing to let that go, then what happens is we don't trust the Lord, we are trusting the world. And in trusting the world, we don't get very far. And so, from baggage to freedom, your baggage is your bondage. What you believe about yourself, what you believe about your childhood, what you believe about your relationships that may not have gone exactly like you would have liked it to be. We have to face those beliefs, go within ourselves, and allow that to come up, which is in conflict with the truth of who we are. And when we're willing to do that, what happens is, again, within you is the light, all the light that is necessary to show you a new way of being, a new way of thinking. And so we are able to look at our baggage, and we can unload our baggage, just like we would do at the train station or on the airplane. We can unload our baggage. Let go of it. Let the plane carry it wherever you're going. But you don't have to be attached to it. You don't have to be one with it. So that what happens is, again, you feel lifted up, much like when a plane takes off. You're uplifted because that baggage is not holding you down. I mean, what would it be like to sit on a plane and have all your baggage in your lap? Especially if you're going on a long trip. It'd be pretty uncomfortable, right? So what we have this opportunity to do is to put the baggage in the baggage compartment and to sit and be free in our consciousness. To understand the power of all the good that is within you, all the love that is within you. Not just God loving you, because God can't do anything else but love you, but that you feel that love and experience that love. And when you do, you are aware that it's the love that will carry you through those moments when you feel like you are totally worn out, totally exhausted from the baggage you've been carrying. And as we look at our baggage, knowing that our baggage is our bondage, we can say that our past beliefs hold us down, okay? And what I'm talking about that, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in a few more minutes, more in a sense, but I was brought up with a certain belief system, as all of you were. I interpreted it differently. I experienced it differently than every one of you. If everybody in this room was a Baptist or a Methodist or a Presbyterian, you experienced that differently than I did, and you interpreted it differently. But one of the things that they all have in common is that you and I are not up to God's standards. That you and I are less than what Jesus was. And so we might take that belief system and carry it with us. And it's difficult for us to break through that until we see God not as an individual. Jesus not as the only person who could live in this world and solve problems. The only person who felt that he and the Father are one, and you and I and Jesus are one. We see Jesus differently. We see him as a way shower. We see him as the one who helps us heal. We see him as the one who shares with us messages that are about healing, about picking up the cross, about continuing on, about listening, about caring, about compassion. And as we step into that new understanding of Jesus, you see, I think we lift up a bondage and let go of something in our minds that holds us in bondage. If I feel like I'm worthless, it's kind of hard to love myself. And sometimes we hold on to that a little bit. each and every one of us. And what we have to do is let it go. And when it comes back up, let it go. And if it comes back up again, let it go. And eventually one day, it just won't come up. Or if it does, it doesn't affect you whatsoever. It doesn't worry you. It doesn't concern you. It just is what you used to believe, and you know that. And so we have to look at our belief systems and how they change us, our past beliefs. Our past beliefs about a situation. See, I think we have, in the human condition, issues, challenges that we have to deal with. And if we're unwilling to deal with them, they then hold us down. They're there. And I think they're there for our growth, not to hold us down. They're there so that we can see a possibility and opportunity of change that we need to have in our lives or in other people's lives. It's all right there for us. It's according to how we deal with it. And do we let our old convictions, our old ideas of ourselves, our old ideas of relationships stand in the way of that? And so we have this opportunity, if you would, to learn from our baggage and to experience our beliefs a little differently. So it's our culture that holds us in baggage. Now, there's some key steps to freedom. And these key steps to freedom are three initially. Number one is we really need to sit down with ourselves and ask ourselves, what do I believe about God? How do I experience God? Is there some still inside of me that says, God is a father, God is an object, God is a being, God is a man, God has a beard? Or have you passed through that and what you're seeing, God as yourself? You're seeing you and the divine as one. And you're able to understand that the divine in you, divine mind, divine idea, and divine expression is God in you, is the Christ in you. And when you start to see God that way, you can experience God through the principles of God that we call God, the principle of love. As I said earlier, God cannot not love you. The experience of wisdom. God cannot not be wise in you. The experience of forgiveness. That you have the power to forgive yourself, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that God does not forgive you because God sees you in your perfection. We see our children. We see the mistakes they make, but we see them in their perfection when we love them unconditionally. They are created to learn and to grow, but they are always perfect. And so you, like an heir of God, you are considered and you are perfect right now just the way you are. Now maybe you got some changes to make, but that doesn't make you imperfect. You are the strength. You are the light. You are the Christ. Right now, right here, in this moment. Each and every one of us is. And so we have to learn to experience God in such a way that we find God within ourselves. The second thing, when we ask this question about serving God, how do we see ourselves in relationship to God? Do we see ourselves as a servant to God? Do we see ourselves as a slave to God? If you do, give that a lot of thought and a lot of prayer. Because we are not servants to God. We are not slaves to God. We are, as I said earlier, heirs to God. And when we take on that definition, it changes our lives. Because as an heir to God, we receive all the good that God is. And now I want to talk about 3 steps to freedom. These are pretty simple. The first one was ask, how do I experience God? The second one is start meditating. Set aside a time every day and meditate and be in the silence and maybe use a mantra or some words, a statement. I behold the Christ in me. God and I are one. Whatever you need to use, or use some music, and just settle down and be in the moment. And that can be difficult, especially if you're not used to it. But I will say, as Emily Cady said so many years ago, it is the only way that you're going to learn to experience God as a divine. It is probably the thing that we walk by because of our busy lives. It is the one solution that we don't take on because it's not always comfortable just to be in the silence. And some people say, well, I can't be in the silence because these voices keep flowing through. And that's true. And just let them flow and let them go. And eventually, over time, those voices will calm down. Those voices will be slower. And all of a sudden, you'll find yourself in the true silence in that moment, experiencing something within yourself that you can't even identify. You just know something's happening. And I would suggest to you that you should make a goal of doing that for 6 months. The reason I do that is because that's the way I did it. I started meditating because the book said to meditate. That was a way to understand and know God, and I started doing it. I had meditated before in a different style, a different manner, and different objectives. But at first, I couldn't stay calm for more than a minute and a half, I think. But the longer I did it, and I used to set a half an hour every morning. Now I do a little longer. Every morning, first 6 months that I came into Unity, to meditate. In some kind of way, it opened my eyes. In some kind of way, I felt a closeness that I had not felt to myself, to the divine within me. Some kind of way, I started to understand what this concept, the Christ within, meant. In some kind of way, I started to experience God differently. I didn't see myself as a servant to God. I didn't see myself as a slave to God. I only saw myself as one with God. And once you've had that experience, then you will continue automatically to meditate. It just becomes a practice, a part of who you are. So the first thing we have to do, if we really want to experience God, if we want to let go of our bondage, if we want to let go of any baggage, what we need to do is start meditating. And if you've done it before and said, that just doesn't work for me, do it again. And the next day, if you say, that didn't work for me, do it again. Because it eventually will work. It's not the easiest thing in the world because we're not used to doing it, and we're not taught to do it as children, most of us. The third thing is to forgive yourself and others. When we forgive ourselves, accept ourselves as we are is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about wallowing around on the ground, ashcloth or anything like that. I'm talking about just accept yourself as you are. When we do that, we then are able to identify our baggage. And we won't do that, we will not be able to identify our baggage until we're willing to sit and say, I accept myself just as I am. And I know that the Christ within me is a light that is becoming brighter and brighter and brighter. One day I will understand, because of my ability to forgive myself, I am able to, again, deal with others. I'm ready to let go of the past. I'm ready to forgive what I think others might have done to me. Many of us, what we come to the conclusion is that nobody did anything wrong to us. We just saw it differently. We decided it was wrong. We judged it. And we start to let go of that. And as we start to let go of that, we lift ourselves up. And whatever the past contained no longer has any power over us. And then we can truly pray with open hearts in an affirmative manner so that we make that difference and take on that difference in our lives. Viktor Frankl, a great author and a survivor of the Holocaust, said this: despite the horrifying environment, Frankl noticed that the prisoners who were more likely to survive the concentration camps had specific psychological methods of resistance. Rich inner lives. That's why we're talking about meditation. Future-oriented goals. That in the midst of their bondage, they found themselves still having goals, because that is the human nature, by the way. If you're willing to take them on. Maybe a goal just to survive. Maybe a goal to make a change when you can. Maybe a goal to have meaning in your life, even though it feels meaningless in a moment. And so he said that because of this, they start to understand the meaning of their suffering. They want to take that on. They want to understand it. They want to know why. Why me? Not why me, God, but why me? And how can I deal with this effectively? Why me? And how do I come up with solutions, ideas, creative thought, affirmations that will change my life, that I learn from these circumstances and grow from these circumstances? Nelson Mandela said, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. All of our baggage comes from fear. All of our light comes from love. All of our baggage comes from a perception that is not in alignment with you and God. All that we fear creates a sense of separation. And there's nothing to fear. We just think there is. Even if we don't know what the future is going to hold for us. If we depend on God, if we say, God, I'm going to do my job, you do yours. And that means give me the ideas, give me the thoughts, give me the ability to be whole and to be moving through this situation rather stuck in it. And so it is not, again, feeling afraid, but instead it is conquering that fear, living through that fear, and understanding that fear. So from baggage to freedom. You see, you have the ability to choose right now this morning whether you want to stay with the baggage or whether you want to let go of it. If you pray, if you forgive, if you understand the truth of your God nature, what will happen is you will say yes, yes, right now at this time. I see each of you not in bondage, but flowing through bondage and finding the truth of yourself. God bless and thank you. And now at this time, we have the pleasure of having Reverend Robin Moore come forth and share with us a meditation. Thank you, Robin. So let's just relax for a moment as we feel the vibration of this heart chakra.
So I invite you, take a deep breath in and just let it out slowly. Take another breath in and let it out slowly. Allow yourself to release and let go. Take another breath in and let it out slowly. Allow yourself to rest right where you are. There's been a lot of information this morning in the message. A lot to consider, a lot to unfold. But I invite you in this moment to just let go, to relax right where you are, and know that you are free. There are no chains that bound you. You are willing to let go, and willing is more than enough. Take another breath in and let it out slowly. Allow your body to relax right where you are. Allow your mind to let go of whatever is on your mind in this now moment. Just let it go. Allow it to pass. It doesn't have to move it. Take another breath in and let it out slowly. Know that you can do anything. Know that you are God. Take another breath in and let it out slowly. Relax right where you are. Allow God to be in you right here, right now. For there is no separation. Baggage can be weighed, but it doesn't have to weigh you down. It is but a thought. It is but an idea. It's a habit. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Know that you, yes, you have the power. You have the ability, because you're made in God's image, in God's likeness. Therefore, you are God. Know that you are one with this one, and there is no separation. There is nothing that you cannot do. Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Allow yourself to let go and let God. Let God be all that you are. In this now moment, take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Relax right where you are. And know, as we go into the moments of silence, that you are God's individualized expression. And you are one of this magnificent one. And you are capable of all that is being asked of you in letting go. Just let it go and let God. Allow yourself to feel that presence as we go into the silence, knowing that you are magnificent, wonderful, enlightened expressions of God. Right here, right now. And as we bring this time to a close, I just invite you to know that all you have to do is say, yes, I am free. And God, in you, as you, and through you, will show you the way. And bondage will no longer be your path or your choice. And so it is. Amen.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's here today, to those who are watching, to our sound crew and our audiovisual crew in the back. Thank you so much for the great job you do. To our band, to each of our singers, and to everybody who makes this service come together. I really appreciate it, and thank you for that. And then the other thing is that we have this opportunity to share. This is way off anyway. Let's get it straight. Okay, we have this opportunity now to share and have our love offering, okay? Thank you. So let's just say together that divine love, expressing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see and everything I do and everything I am is you. Everything above and everything below and everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every inch of earth and sky. Everything I see and everything I do and everything I am is you. Everything above and everything below and everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see and everything I do and everything I am is you. Everything above and everything below and everything I know is you. Everything I see and everything I do and everything I am is you. Everything above and everything below and everything I know is you. I see
Thank you, band. Thank you, Katrina. You just make us feel so good. It's so easy to feel loving and lovable when you share and shine yours the way you do. Bless you. Bless you. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. It's true.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maureen. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was delightful. What a treat. Oh, you guys make me verklempt. So now it's time to bless our gifts. We have so many ways to give these gifts. You may have be set up for an automatic deduction from your account, or you can drop it off in the box out in the foyer, or you can text to 7797 to help make contributions to our beautiful church here. Thank you. So we, having done that, we want to bless the gifts. So together we can say, thank you. Thanks for the gifts that will support our mission of creating a spiritually awakened world. And thank you, God. And now it's also time for the prayer of protection. And then we'll sing the peace song. And we have beautiful Heather here to sing for us. So, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.